The supervisor of the FBI's investigation into Lori Vallow is on the stand right now in her murder trial in Idaho. She's charged in the deaths of her two children. Former Special Agent Dan Hart poured through about 150,000 messages, pictures, voicemails on Vallow's iCloud accounts. He says it took him well over 200 hours to go through all of this. Hart says that Vallow and her now husband, Chad Daybell, used the word obstacles to describe her children, JJ and Tylee. Their bodies were found in shallow graves on Chad Daybell's property in June of 2020. He's charged in their deaths as well. Just 3 days after Lori's fourth husband, Charles Vallow, was shot and killed in July of 2019, she and Chad were also exchanging romantic text messages. I want to bring in Joshua Ritter, now criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor and host of the True Crime Daily Sidebar podcast. So what do you make? What's your read on the testimony, first of all, of these romantic text messages that are going back and forth between Lori and Chad just days after Charles, her last husband, had died?
Yeah, as the prosecution's case draws to a close here, they've done a really good job about establishing motive as far as her religious beliefs and possible money interests. They've also done a good job of talking about consciousness of guilt, but now they're connecting those final dots on that often asked question of what did she know and when did she know it? And these text messages go a long way towards that, establishing that it sounds like they had this plan. They had this romantic interest that they viewed the children, her husband, his wife, as simply obstacles in their life towards getting to a life with each other, and this possible kind of fringe religious beliefs about how they would inherit the world with the end of time soon coming.
There were also some text messages exchanged which show in some ways like detachment from reality between Lori Vallow and the sons of Charles Vallow, her husband who was killed. And essentially she's telling them, your dad passed away. I don't have a lot of information for you. And they're like, are you kidding me? We need more from you. How do you think that will play with the jury?
It's heartless. And I think there was some reports that the jury did respond to that in a way that you might imagine. Here she drops this bomb on them that their father has died over a text message, by the way, and then goes silent as they're confused and asking questions and trying to make phone calls. And it just shows this kind of manipulativeness of her, the selfishness, that this was all about her plan, and informing the children that their father had died was just kind of an afterthought.
I'm curious what you think the defense is going to do. The prosecution getting ready to wrap up their case. The defense is going to be ready, what witnesses they will call and how they'll be able to counter with this jury what has already been laid out in court. What are you expecting?
That's such a difficult question because they have not done a lot to preview what they expect to put on. The witness list is sealed in this case, so we don't know what their possible witnesses are going to be. They have not given a preview as to who they intend to call. In their opening statements, they did seem to direct a lot of their attention towards her brother, Alex Cox, and Chad Daybell's involvement in all of this. But then throughout cross-examination, we haven't seen that really begin to materialize. So it could be one of those situations where they simply don't call any witnesses and rely on what we call a reasonable doubt case, where they simply argue to the jury that, listen, we don't have an obligation to prove anything here. Instead, the prosecution did not meet their burden, and I don't know how persuasive an argument that will be.
We'll see which way it goes. Joshua Ritter, as always, appreciate your perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.